April to May is the time for cherry blossoms. The cherry blossom season from April to May is the peak travel period in Japan. Locals and inbound tourists flock to parks, gardens, tree-lined brooks and castle moats to partake in hanami, the annual ritual of observing the spring blossom. Picnicking under a canopy of cherry blossom is a top bucket list experience, though travelers are advised to weigh out the undeniable beauty against the drawback of the vast crowds. The cherry blossoms arrive and depart over a 2-week period, dictated by weather patterns and local geography, and the exact timing can be hard to predict in advance. Along Japan's so-called Golden Route, a popular tourist trail running along the east coast in the center of the country, the flowers typically emerge between late March and early April, so April is a fairly reliable month to book a trip. As the last petals fall, there is little reprieve for crowd-weary travelers. Golden Week arrives in early May, with warm and sunny weather and a string of national holidays. Hotel and flight prices soar as the crowds surge into Japan's cities, and public transport, city streets, shrines, temples, museums and other tourist attractions are crammed with sightseers. August to November is the time for hiking through fall foliage. Late summer and fall bring another surge in visitor numbers and big crowds of domestic tourists. Mid-August is the start of the busy Obon, Festival of the Dead, season, the summer counterpart to Golden Week. National holidays, colorful festivals and blistering temperatures keep sites crowded and accommodations expensive, and often fully booked. Cooler mountain destinations are also popular in August, and Mount Fuji hosts hundreds of thousands of hikers during the mid-July to mid-September climbing season. Overnight summiteers should book mountain lodges well before starting the ascent. As August gives way to September, there's a brief lull before things pick up again during the fall foliage season. June and July are great for alpine hiking and summer festivals. June and July are the best months for hiking in the Japanese Alps, and nature enthusiasts flock to the great outdoors. Mountain escapes are perfect for adventurous travelers looking to escape the cities as the summer heat brews. Japan's rainy season typically straddles these 2 months on Honshu, Japan's main island, meaning hotel prices will be a little cheaper and outdoor excursions a little less thronged. December to March is the best time for snow and low prices. In winter, sites are uncrowded and accommodation is at its cheapest, except in Japan's ski resorts as the ski season hits its stride. Snow bunnies insist that Japan has some of the finest powder on the planet, particularly on the slopes of Hokkaido in the far north. It's worth digging deep and accepting the expense if you're a serious skier or boarder. However, note that many businesses close over the New Year period, end of December to early January, while temples and shrines are thronged by Japanese families. Stick to cities at this time of year. Tokyo is normally the best place for big New Year parties. February is for winter warmers and snow sculptures. February is the coldest month of the year, and this is the time to warm your insides with hot sake and steaming bowls of ramen noodles. It's still high season on the ski slopes, but if you prefer admiring the snow to slaloming down it, head to Hokkaido for the annual Sapporo Snow Festival, Yuki Matsuri. Enormous, intricately crafted snow and ice sculptures are showcased throughout Sapporo City. How geography affects seasons and weather in Japan. When discussing the weather in Japan, it's also helpful to have a very basic understanding of the country's geography. While Japan may look rather small on the map, especially next to a massive country like China, it is surprisingly large. The most important thing to keep in mind is that seasons and weather in Japan vary a lot from place to place. Japan stretches from the frigid northern island of Hokkaido, all the way to the subtropical islands of Okinawa in the far southwest. As you can likely imagine, Hokkaido experiences longer and more pronounced winters than the rest of Japan. In contrast, Okinawa enjoys longer summers and relative warmth almost year-round. In between, in places like Tokyo and Kyoto, On Japan's main island of Honshu, things tend to be less extreme. Generally speaking, locations to the south and west tend to be slightly warmer, while locations to the north and east tend toward being cooler. Also keep in mind that higher elevation areas, such as the Japanese Alps, tend to be colder as well.